All right. I think we're live now. Let's see. All right. Test something really quick here. All right, that's good enough. All right, so we're live here, just waiting for the round one opponents to start fighting each other, and then we'll go ahead and get our first match up here. I think our first match here is going to be an Abyss match versus, I think, a Havencraft. I always forget who is who on the sign-up sheets. Hopefully you guys are having a good night. I've been out of commission for a bit here, dying to some flu that's been going around like crazy. I'm finally kind of mostly back in commission. I haven't been able to have time to do videos or anything, just been lying in bed and dying. So hopefully I'm going to get a couple videos out before I go to Vancouver on Friday, since I'll be at the Vancouver BCS.
Oh wait, did we get repaired? Is that what's happening?
All right.
Get repaired. Okay, that makes more sense.
Hopefully these are lined up correctly. Let's find out. They are not. Nice.
Have audio just not
see if I can fix that.
I can hear you.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Now I can hear you.
Oh no, do I not have it?
Yeah, I thought I was up against Boltaz, but the pairings changed at some point since I last refreshed the page.
Okay.
Let me open up. There we go.
I guess I'm just gonna have to redo these.
And what craft are you on?
Haven.
Gotcha. I'll cut it half if that's okay with you.
Okay.
And this is my first time participating in the Burn 1 weekly thing, but I've done other webcam tournaments and stuff like that before, so.
Nice.
Let me actually roll. 4 as well. 6. I will go second.
Cool.
All right, so we have a Control Abyss matchup here versus, it looks like a, oh no, it's Lashina Rune. Lashina Rune's pretty rogue deck this format. It'll be interesting to see how this control list versus like another. Essentially, I feel like Lichen is almost like a control list is going to play into each other here. Abyss running some spicy tech here with Trail of Light. I'll be very interested to see how that ends up playing out for them.
Play that.
Sacred Plea, okay.
End turn.
Sure. Draw. Spend 1, play Colorful Cook, summon a tree, heal for 1, pass turn.
Let me see.
Do you track your opponent's life total as well, or?
Usually.
Okay, yeah. So I've healed for 1 off of the cook.
Okay. I'll banish your cook.
Sure.
And end turn.
Okay. Draw. I will spend 1, sacrifice the tree, draw a card, then discard a card. I will discard a Trail of Light. When it's discarded, I'll draw a card. And pass turn with 1 up.
Let's see.
All right, where is it? We have the technology here. So, all right.
Okay, dude.
Trail of Light tech coming in here already hot. They are playing through Trail of Lights along with it looks like
Spend
8 discard cards that
Sure.
in the Abyss list, which is interesting.
Draw. Spend 5, play Rulinai. Spend an Evo point to involve him.
Runelite coming down.
Discard a card from your hand at random.
I'm going to be forcing a discard here. See how that plays out for them.
Here, we can go clockwise from the top. I'll roll a die. 2, so the one top right.
This?
Yeah. Sure. And pass turn. Your spells cost 1 more.
Oh wait, do I have the wrong deck up here? Sorry, it's actually into a Haven control list.
He's a 4/4, and
Oh,
passively, while he's on the field, any opponent's spells cost 1 more to cast.
Got it. I'll deal him 4 damage and heal 1.
Sure, and you. Yep, sounds good.
And end turn.
Sure. Draw.
There we go. All right, I got the list up now. It looks like basically a Float Haven control list with Izzerfill in the top end. Interesting, they're still playing Marwyn in this list. I think right now Marwyn is in like a really bad position just for the fact that just for the fact that Marwyn there's a lot of Bane running around because of Nashra. So Marwyn almost feels like a liability in a way, but it's still a really powerful card, especially if you keep it standing, if you evolve it on turn 7 or 8. And then you're able to usually swing in with 8 in the following turn to do a big chunk of damage. I'm feeling much better. Still a little bit not great with the throat, but it is what it is.
Alkalight's Light and banish him.
Sure,
and-
spending 5.
Yep, and heal
and
2.
heal 2.
All right, going to go ahead and looks like we're using Alkalight's Light here.
Draw.
Going to banish that away. Forcing them to pay 5 for that, though. Basically, essentially skipping their entire turn, just using all their play points essentially to do that play. So, Omen of Sans come in here, doing a lot of work. Roll out here.
I will deal 1 damage to myself to draw a card, then discard a card.
Wings of Lust, one of the discard here. I assume they have. They're just discarding Gensetsu, probably setting up a Death's Breath for later. It's obviously, we're playing control here, so along with the Death's Breath, we just set up for the graveyard. This is another discard outlet as well for Trail of Light for the deck itself. All right, we got Dublin coming in. You know,
And then
lets you mill a card from the top. Looks like we hit a card in the grave, which is a really powerful card along with the Evo here. Now we're going to be able to deal 2 to 4 damage depending on Necrocharge. Probably not enough for Necrocharge 10 just yet, but
let's see. Spend 2 and Surefire Bullet.
Surefire Bullet's still a strong card coming in. Going to go ahead and remove Dublin here.
Spend 2 Sacred Plea.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Sacred Plea getting in for some card draw here, paying the 2 to get it.
Cards in hand.
5.
Okay, cool. Draw.
Even after drawing 2 cards, still kind of chilling at 5-card hand size, not too big. Wonder what we're waiting to get into, possibly Israfil. All right, we got Death's Breath, like I said, coming out with Gensetsu. Really strong line here. We got the Evo. We're going to go ahead and get the 5 Foxes. It creates a board state that's quite annoying. Let's see, do they have any way to really deal with this board? They do play 3 Themis Decrees, which is really good into Gensetsu. Gets to answer the entire board 4-5, which doesn't feel too bad. Along with Jean d'Arc can at least clear up the Foxes if need be, and then you'll have to do something else to clear up the Gensetsu itself. But 2 strong ways to just kind of deal with the board, along with, if they have enough, they can boost Kicker and hopefully just, once again, kind of deal with the Foxes, but it doesn't really help too much dealing with Gensetsu, just because it has 9 health, I believe, when it's Evo'd, which is quite a lot.
Oh, Themis.
That also works.
Yep, there it is. Like I said, we got Themis here to just answer this board nice and easily. Left with a couple play points left to do whatever we would like here.
Sure. Draw. Check Necrocharge real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in Cemetery. Sure. I'll spend 5, play Kawi. Spend 2, play this Fox.
Kawi coming down. Another anti-aggro card that's really good right now as well. Makes a lot of board states really awkward for Natra Sword to deal with sometimes, but at the same time, it's not that bad. There's still a lot of ways to really deal with it, and that doesn't really bite you in the butt for the most part as Sword.
The Fox has 3 health.
Yeah, it's a 1-3. Kawi's a 5-5.
Okay. 5-5.
Yeah, and then the last words to destroy an enemy follower, and I gain defense equal to its attack.
I'll spend 4, play Alkalight's Light, and banish Kawi, and heal 2.
Sure.
Kawi going to go ahead and get answered here with no really plus side for healing, at least. What are we thinking about here?
Spend 3, play Path to Purgatory.
Ooh, the one of PTP. Taking damage, drawing up hand size here. I'm always go back and forth on PTP. I don't like that it takes up a slot, but also you're kind of playing a deck that just does not need a lot of space on the board until later in the game. So
then you can engage it to deal something to the board or whatever. What's the effect on it?
It will deal 6 to deal 6 damage to each enemy follower on the field.
Yeah, let me just put the card real quick just to have it off to the side. It's just I haven't seen that card in a while. I'll say that much. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. So I drew for turn. Swing at you for 1.
Fox getting in some damage there. Both players, though, still in the 20s with their life total. Going to be a bit of a long game till someone takes control.
To play Hellblaze Demon, Fanfare, I'll discard a card. I will discard a Whispers of a Dream, and then put the top card of my deck into my EX area. If it's a follower, it will get +1/+1, so this will be a 3/4 back here.
We get another copy on the board of Hellblaze Demon. Pretty fun tech card in the control matchup because you need the discard outlets for except the good Death's Breaths on like turn 6. And this also helps you draw into Death's Breath in a way too, because if you end up pitching the thing you need and you draw Death's Breath off of the top, it always feels good. If not, you get the +1/+1 if you do hit a follower. All right, doing it again, discarding another.
+1/+1, so she's a 2/6.
Discarding another Whispers of a Dream, and then we got we got a Gensetsu off of that gives +1/+1. So now it's a 2/6 already. Dublin coming down, milling a Kawi, it looks like.
I will spend 1 to evolve her into a 3/3.
Oh, sorry, not Kawi. Servant of Silence. Oh wait, no, not Servant of Silence. It is Dublin. I don't know why I'm thinking here. And they gone ahead and evoed it just for the stats. All right, we got Israfil coming down now.
Box and blow up your board.
Yep.
Israfil's strike effect going to go ahead and clear up the board here when it does deal 5 on the strike effect.
Then I will.
And now they have this 10/10 they have to contend with.
Draw. Let's see. I will. So I have like 12 or 13 in cemetery now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah. I can just do this, I guess. I'll spend 6 to play the Gensetsu from EX. Spend 1 to evolve her. She will be a 2/10 in that case. She has all the foxes back here. Play out the foxes and have them rush in for 2 at the Israfil 1 at a time.
Okay.
To deal 10 damage total between the 5 of them, unless you stop me in the middle of this.
Fox is going to go ahead and deal with that Israfil quite easily since they do 2 damage each because Gensetsu's on the board. Gensetsu's going to get a ton of +1 attacks off of it because when they do get removed from the board, okay, follower you control leaves the field, you get this follower gets +1 attack.
Pass turn with 2 up.
Now we got a 7/10 on the board. They're gonna have to deal with here. But it looks like they're gonna have a pretty easy answer here. I assume this is Apostle of Repose, which on Evo they're gonna be banish a follower on the field, a reserved enemy follower on the field. That is.
It gets banished.
I'll spend 5. Play Deus Ex.
Deus Ex coming down for 5 here. Going to be able to either cycle their hand or recover 4. Most likely cover 4, I assume, unless their hand is just that bad.
I recover 4 and 2. Play.
Sure, so you're at 6.
Go back up to 6. Your go.
Okay. Draw. I will. What do you think? I'll spend 6. Play Yuzuki. Fanfare make you bury 2 followers on your field.
This is such a weird matchup. Just Yuzuki coming down, going to be able to force them to sack 2 followers here. Spicy, get a 2 for 1 them, and have this 5/5 left on the board with Bane still. It's just these guys are just trading cards over and over again. This is just who's going to run out of resources first or who's going to dick out first. It feels like almost.
Alright, I'm going to spend 3 on the end step. I'll deal her 2 damage, and then I'll banish her.
Sure.
Spending 2 cards on that Yuzuki is insane. That means you got 4 cards off of that 1 card of worth of value. That's a pretty good trade. I would accept those trades every day. Make my opponent lose 2 followers. Go ahead and have them use 2 cards to remove Yuzuki.
Spend 4 for Omen, and then 4 to evolve.
Is it 3 or 4 to evolve him?
4.
All right, we got our big boy here coming down. Marwyn, Omen of Repose. And then, yeah, Donut, I've been trying to include this on the side now. Just so people also can see the cards a little bit clearer, because I know it is tough sometimes with these webcams. As you see this one on the bottom here having a little seizure itself, very very blurry. But Marwyn Omen coming in, going to go ahead and pay the cost to Evo instead of skipping a turn. It's Ward Aura, and they heal 3, draw a card, and their max PP goes up by 1, so they can kind of like ramp fakely, basically, but you're kind of at the end of the game, so you're both basically at 10 play points at this point. I'm just gonna have it standing here. One thing about this card that's like very undervalued by a lot of people, even in this control matchup, is that at the end of the day, it's pretty hard to deal with a 8/8 Ward Aura that's like standing, which means it's going to be able to swing in for like 10, maybe even more next turn, depending on what ends up getting played.
One apostle, you've discarded another apostle, and then the saviors is another that can vanish based on health. Okay. Alright. Yeah, we'll try it. Spend 6, play another Yuzuki, make you bury your
Yuzuki, a pretty good answer for Marwyn there.
I only have one guy and has Aura.
Yeah, it's not targeting him. It's you get to decide to bury him. It's not a targeted removal effect. It's more like sacrifice stuff. Specifically gets around stuff like Aura and cannot be destroyed effects.
Okay.
And then pass turn 4 up. Yeah, because the exact wording is fanfare, each opponent buries a follower, necrocharge 10, they bury 2 instead. So I'm never deciding I'm never targeting anything, basically. You get to decide among however many followers you have which ones to send from field to cemetery.
Gotcha. Alright.
This is such an interesting matchup. Both players just kind of have answers to everything right now, which is kind of funny. Boost Kicker coming in. I assume we're playing this for 7 to go up and clear up that Yuzuki.
Right. End of turn, you get a play point from the Boost Kicker. That's increasing your maximum, is what that top line would be.
Oh yeah.
Draw.
Right.
Okay. I will spend 3, play Rule and I, Fanfare, Necrocharge 10, destroy a follower that costs 3 or less. And then I don't think I have another Evo for him. Your spells will still cost 1 more as long as he's on the field.
Rule Knight coming in with that good value, getting 1 for 1 them already, still making it slightly harder for them to cast spells.
Yeah, I'll spend 2. Play Hellblaze Demon. I will not pay the cost for its fanfare. So
Hellblaze Demon coming in. Opponent realizing that they can't be discarding cards here, or their 2 cards in hand at least are probably really good. So they opted not to discard.
I'll spend 4 for Joan.
Jean coming in hot here. Going to go ahead and deal 2 to the board, and I assume we're going to get the Evo here, which we do, which is going to deal another 2. And then give +2 health to all other followers on the board. But there's no other followers to really work with.
I'll end turn.
And she's got 5 attack, 5 defense. Something like that.
4, 5. 4
5.
attack,
Okay.
5 defense.
Gotcha. Okay. Draw. Yeah, sure. I'll spend... actually... I'll spend 7, play Alucard, Storm, and then Fanfare Necrocharge 10. It gets +2 attack, so it'll be 6 attack. And then I will swing at you. Strike effect, I will deal 4 to the Jean and heal myself for 4.
There's a second out card coming out.
When you attack, I'll banish him.
Sure, I will still deal 4 and heal 4 because strike happens before quick, but yes.
Okay.
So, and then I'll heal 2 and draw a card from the thing.
Card not to use too often, Fall from Grace. It's an interesting card because you can use it on yourself or your opponent.
You'll still be at 28.
You go down a card, but you do answer like a threat maybe you can't really deal with for a relatively cheap cost, only 3, but it does let them draw a card. And in this matchup, maybe that like the draw card 2 might matter a lot because they might end up decking themselves out.
2/3, and whenever an opponent discards a card, I deal 2 damage.
All right. Servant of Silence. Whenever an opponent discards a card, they deal 2 damage to their leader and then put the top 2 cards of your deck into your cemetery. Card I don't see played too often. Interesting that they opted to play this card. I'm not sure why, but I guess they just either want the Necro Charge or a way to like kind of push damage. I feel like this card can be easily replaced in this list, but maybe I'm wrong here.
Yep.
And then I will attack for 4.
Sure, I'll take 4 down to 22.
Both players still in the 20s. I don't think they've ever dropped below 20 this game. This actually might be a deck out game with how slow it's going, or until someone can establish a board presence that just doesn't get removed. Bellringer Angel coming down. Old Reliable. Coming to block the way.
End turn.
Sure, so you have 6 points remaining?
Yes, or 7.
Well, because you spent...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're good.
Draw for turn. I will spend 8, play Israfil, heal for 4.
Oh man. Alright. They're starting to get their Israfils online. Gonna go ahead and Evo. Answer the board here once again.
I'll draw 1 from Bellringer.
Yes. And then I'll pass turn with 1 up.
So this is kind of the end game we're at. It's just both players are just going to start playing their big dudes over and over again until someone can't answer it. Then they're going to be able to swing in for like 10. And hopefully that's enough to kind of close out the game if they can't answer it for like a couple turns. But we'll see. I mean, they're both basically on control, which is a really, really awkward matchup to deal with. A lot of times these matchups come down to resource management. And like, if you have more cards than your opponent, you're usually going to be winning the games. We're paying 5 for another Themis. I believe that is the second Themis. They probably only have 1 left in their deck. They do play 3.
Spend 5 for Deus Machina.
Deus Ex Machina. I do like this combination of Themis into Deus Ex Machina because you can go ahead and get the 4 play points back and answer anything else in response here. It being a 4/6 is kind of awkward to deal with unless they have something that just straight up kills it.
Stats on Deus Ex?
4, 6.
Okay. Alright, I will spend 6, play Death's Breath, Reviving, we'll revive Ginsetsu, give her ward. Here somewhere.
All right, opting here to Death's Breath into Ginsetsu, which is an interesting play. Just getting all these Fox tokens up, getting the value that way. It looks like they still have another Evolve for it. They do play 3, so I believe this is the 3rd Evo. So after this, there'll be no more Evos for Ginsetsu. Ginsetsu's still a really powerful card just because it makes these tokens. It adds pressure to your opponent. I'm not sure if I would even bother warding here. I guess it's fine. It's just like I would just opt not to ward and then either swing them in next turn or swing directly to face because taking 4 damage at this point when you're sitting at 26 doesn't really matter because the game state's just really coming down to who can have a big body stick to the board and they can't be answered.
And although they only have 1 attack, they do 2 damage if they would deal damage to something instead of 1.
Okay.
As long as Ginsetsu's on the field, that is. Otherwise, they're just 1/3s.
I will I'll spend 10
Mhm.
and play Boost Kicker to deal 8 damage to your board. Yeah.
Sure.
Boost Kicker coming in hot. Man, Boost Kicker is such a good card.
So she's at
It's like one of my favorite additions to just control
Then I'll attack you for 4.
Control Haven in general. It's just a really powerful card. Not only does it refund a play point, so worst case scenario, you can at least threaten snipe. It can deal with boards like this state that you kind of worry about sometimes.
oh, yeah. Right.
Only issue here though is that consistency now is a 6/1, so it's still gonna swing in for about 7. So at least it's gonna 6 some damage here, even though you do end up eating the 4.
Swing at you for 6.
I'll spend 1 and play Trail of Light or Angelic Snipe.
Yeah. Angelic Snipe here and going to answer the Gensetsu. Nice way to just kind of boop, pop it out of existence here.
Let's see. Spend 5, play Kawi. Spend 2, play Servant of Silence. Ward Kawi, pass turn.
Kawi coming down, as we always know. Really good control tool to stop aggro and stop big dudes, or at least force your opponent to have some kind of answer. It is Haven, though, so they have ways to banish it. And they go ahead and drop down the second Servant of Silence here.
I'll spend 3, play Fall from Grace, and banish Kawi.
Sure. I'll heal 2 and draw a card.
Oh, I understand now why they play Servant of Silence.
I'll attack you for 4.
It's whenever an opponent discards a card. So into the Natra matchups, it just destroys them or stops them from being able to cycle their deck so quickly. For some reason, I thought it said whenever you make your opponent discard, but it's just whenever they discard.
And 5.
Interesting tech for the Natra matchups. This is like the type of card where, like, if this game was 2 out of 3, this would definitely be in like everyone's sideboard if they're playing Abyss.
On the end of my turn, I'm gonna discard my hand and draw 4.
Alright, when you discard a card, you'll take 2 damage, and I'll mill the top 2 cards of my deck.
I wonder if Servant in Silence, it's kind of like a Max C challenge. If their opponent plays it, do you just cycle through with as many trees as possible to just like force them to mill their entire deck out? That'd be pretty funny, actually. Oh my god.
Deus Ex, I'll heal 4 play points, and Boost Kicker will heal 1.
Sure.
And I'll end my turn.
Okay. Draw. Then
I think Haven has kind of gotten to the point now they're kind of controlling the game. The only thing really scary left is like Israfel's, I believe. If there are any still left in the deck, looks like they milled another one. I don't know how many answers they have left for like this board state. Just Haven with all its board wipes and everything has just, though like these cards on the board aren't super threatening to like end the game anytime soon. It's just like once something sticks, it's just kind of really rough for them to get back into the game without having a really good board wipe here. So yep, Israfil coming in here, healing for 4. Probably gonna swing in with the Evo. I believe we go. Yep, this is their second Israfil Evo. So they'll be able to somewhat answer this board. They could swing into the 4/6.
Yeah, she'll be alive on 1, so will the other one.
Yep. So we got 2 4/1s left on the board here.
We'll swing Servant of Silence into the engaged Deus Ex.
I'll spend 3 and destroy it and heal 1.
Sure. Then I will spend 1, play Wings of Lust. I'll deal myself 1 damage in order to deal 2 damage to the standing Deus Ex, so she'll be dead. And then,
Wings of Lust coming in here as a fake snipe to deal with one of the Deus Ex Machinas.
Draw. I'll attack for 4.
Take 4.
And I'll spend 5 and Themis Decree.
All right, that should be the last Themis they have in their list, I believe. Dealing with the second Israfil. So now they don't have to worry about any more Israfil Evos. Of course, they're not aware that they don't play 3 Israfil Evos. Bellringer Angel coming down here just to be a little stopgap measure into anything. But at this point, there's not much to really worry about. I think at this point, Haven is just going to slowly take control of the game. They already got like initiative and life totals and everything. And unfortunately for Abyss, cards like Dublame are now, or not Hellblazer, Dublame are now a liability because they're milling resources out of their deck that they actually normally need. What's interesting about a Control Abyss into like mirror matches for Control is that they themselves, if they go into long games, it's pretty bad for them because they play a clean 40, which most people still do. You're just going to deck yourself out way sooner than most other decks. Of course, in this meta, it's a little bit different because Natra's running around also milling themselves. But into the control mirror like this, it's pretty rough if they're not doing some kind of Natra package as well and milling through their entire deck. Jean coming down to answer the board once again, and just being another threat on the board. 4/5 is all you really need in the control matchup. Just every turn, swinging 4/4, swinging 4/4.
Deck out the opponent over time. Like surely there's got to be an Aegis in there or something. Well, I sure hope not, because I'll spend 4 or 6 to play Yuzuki. You'll have to bury your Jean.
Yuzuki coming down to answer the Jean. Opponent also hoping that they do not play Aegis, and lucky for them, they do not. They're probably holding on to that Yuzuki for most of the time, hoping to use it against the Aegis whenever that comes down, because Aegis is a really hard card to remove off the board, especially once it evos. Abyss here working with a 0-card hands, pretty rough. Gonna really matter on a lot of their top decks to get really good value. Acolyte's Light coming in, getting rid of the Yuzuki here. It's getting pretty rough out here for Abyss. They're probably going to deck out, honestly, before this game's over. All right, Surefire going to go ahead and get rid of the Colorful Cook.
I will draw for turn. Let me check something real quick.
Must be Death's Breath, I assume. They're looking at Evos, possibly bring back Israfil or something here.
To sacrifice the Great Tree, draw a card.
Oh no, they're just getting rid of it.
Spend 8, play Israfil, heal for 4. And then I will pass turn. I have used all 10 Evo cards in my Evo deck.
All 10 Evo cards have been used this game. We got a single Israfil on the board, just chilling out there. Hoping that 8/8 will not get answered. I think if it gets answered here, it's just definitely over. Marwyn coming down, going to go ahead and do the Evo. Going to go ahead and heal 3 and draw a card. Chilling here with their 8/8. We get the battle of the 8/8s right now.
Oh yeah, draw a card. And then I will ward. And
sure.
In turn.
Opting to ward, interesting. Not sure if I would even care to ward too much here, because they're, what, at like 33 or something ridiculous right now?
Got a bunch of foxes in the EX area.
Yeah, this would be the only thing you would kind of worry about is like Gensetsu coming out. They can't play all the cards for free though, but like Gensetsu is just a really good way to kind of deal with this board.
I have to swing Israfil into the Marwyn. Both will die. In theory, strike effect, at very least he'll take 3 damage, but yeah. And then I will pass turn. 1 card left in deck. So I think actually I'm just going to concede it because there's no way I deal enough damage in time, and it's just a colorful cook in there. So
yeah, I was gonna boost kicker.
That is the most controlling control deck I have.
What a ridiculous game. This is what happens when you play control mirrors.
Yeah, basically.
The deck that's more controlling wins. It's unfortunate, but like one of the downsides of playing control abysses and there's control mirrors, things like this can happen. So it is what it is.
Like, I was holding on to some stuff because I'm like, well, surely there's got to be like an Aegis in there or something like that he's building up to, and so I got to hold my things that can get rid of that. No, doesn't look like it. Oh.
I did still have 2 Israfils in deck.
All right, so that concludes round 1. Round 2 should be starting. We're like very soon because Go ahead and submit the score. Round 2 should just start now because the other match did finish. We're only having 3 rounds today. Not a big turnout today. We got only 5 players today. Just kind of chilling, you know. Everyone getting back from holidays, getting back into the swing of things. I think some people are preparing for Vancouver, which is this weekend, which will be a lot of fun. Hopefully I run into some people there. I will be there this weekend, which will be a lot of fun. I've never been to the Vancouver BCS. So seeing how it'll end up, seeing the new faces there and never get to see or play will be pretty interesting and a lot of fun for sure. Matches like this are why I think Azazel will always be relevant. Yeah, Azazel is pretty relevant, I think, no matter what, even as a one of. I think the only downside to Azazel is like you end up using a slot in your Evo deck, and sometimes Evo deck's kind of tough. You kind of want everything in there as much as possible.
Mulligan this hand. Alrighty. Turn 1 pass.
I'll pass as well.
Okay.
Wait, you said you're going first?
Yeah.
Okay,
All right, so we have actually 2 different decks here. We have Lashena here, along with a dragon list that is not. Let me get this list up. Where the heck is it? Here it is. I think. Is it Ruby here? No. Along with a unconventional dragon list, at least one you wouldn't expect to see right now, because a lot of people are on the I was going to say disdain, but this is a PDK list, which we haven't seen one of those in quite a while. Oops.
Okay, I play PDK. There you go.
All right, like I said, PDK coming down. This is going to be a bit of a weenie control list, basically. All right, Fate's Hand here coming in to draw 2. This will be an interesting matchup because I think at the end of the day, Lashena is going to be able to like take control of this match, just do the healing and the damage. Dude, as long as both of us is here, we're going to have long matches all the time. This man loves to heal. Lashena coming down. Namesake of the deck here. Who knows? This might end up being quick too, just through the control and having the burn every turn might just be enough.
1 and 2 to the
Card we haven't seen in quite a while being played. Dragon Warrior coming in here. Gonna go ahead and Evo to deal the 3.
3 to her. There you go.
And then go ahead and PDK effect as well, finishing it off, or helping at least. Yeah, well, one day we're going to have our terrorist list up, and we're going to start banning things that heal more than one. More Evo, there we go. Unfortunately, I don't have the access to the tokens to put on screen, but as you can see there from the Lashena's effect, each one of those is at the start of your main phase. You can heal 2, and then at the start of your main phase, deal 2 damage to the enemy leader. White being the healing, and then black doing the damage here.
Okay, I'll play Dark Dragon Forte.
Forte coming down, the other terrorist of Dragon here, being able to Evo, swing in for that 7 to just push some damage in, putting them to 14.
So you'll be at 12. And then I'll end turn.
Oh,
And then
right. Yeah, I'll go to 12.
you're at 14, I'm at 18.
Yep.
Unfortunately here, though, they only play one Forte Evo. But they do play our boy Jerry. I hope Jerry pops off this game. All right? That's what I'm hoping for.
I'll play Agnes.
Agnes Tachyon coming on the board, one of the strongest Uma Musume cards, still seeing play to this day, or at least always thought of in rune decks. It's just such a great effect on Evo. You get to recycle a spell, and it helps control the board because every time you do cast a spell, it doesn't have to be Uma card. You get a -1/-1, one of your opponent's followers.
Make some noise. I'll make some noise to kill your PDK because it does 4 damage, and then Agnes will do the last one. Then Agnes will suicide into your
Agnes going in to get rid of that
card,
Dark Dragon Forte there.
and I'll pass 1 floating.
Yeah. Okay, I'll play out the Mushu.
All right, a card you hardly ever see, or like basically never see. It's Mushusu.
Chat.
Mushusu. I believe that's, yeah. Whenever one of your flowers evolves, give this flower +2 attack. Not a very strong flower, but it does meet the condition for PDK to be able to do its triggered effect. We're getting Hammer, Dragon Newt on the board here. I believe. Yep, they went ahead and evoed it. Not a horrible card, not the best card in the world, but it is
Oh, thank you.
it is under 3 or less, which means it does trigger PDK. We have a second Lashena has hit the towers, sir.
I'll play Lashana for 4, and then for 3, I will play Destruction Refrain, which does 3 damage to the board.
Got it.
Destruction Refrain here. Coming in, clearing up that board. Playing it for 3 to deal X damage, which in this case will be 3. Just enough to say goodbye to everything.
Okay. I'll play Zernitra. I get a dragon.
A card we haven't seen being played that often since basically set 2. I think set 2 was like basically the last time we've seen Zenitra running around. Still a really good value card. You get the 4/4 token, which is pretty good. You get to push it out. We got 2 of them coming to the board. We get to have that whiteboard along with a feline, whatever, however you say her name. Going to go ahead and search for the spell for removal. We get to go ahead and tap down the Lashena so it can't untap next turn. Slow down our opponent a little bit, and we have this pretty wide board now. Not bad.
Then I'll play White Frost Whisper to destroy your Lashana.
White Frost Whisper, using immediately, get some burn damage in because Feline is still on the board, being able to deal 2 damage to your opponent, along with removing the follower, rest of the flower. Yes, Igni would be very happy. Surprised how tied this game is, but now that the board's pretty wide, dude, does Rune have a lot of good ways to deal with it? It's just kind of like Destruction Refrain can kind of do a fake board wipe. What else do we have here? I mean, Full Bloom Panorama would be pretty nice here. At least get rid of the 2/4/4s. That'd be okay. We also have access to Crimson Meteor Storm, which wouldn't be bad. It clears the 5 cards essentially off the board. Well, technically 3 and 2 tokens, but it's all the same to me. All right, looks like we're getting Witchbolt out, which probably is going to be played now, and then Evo to play it again, get rid of the 2 dragons, I would assume.
I will Witchbolt one of the 5/5. Then I'll use an Evo point. That leaves me 1 left.
All right, this one's going to be able to get rid of the other 5/5, and we get a draw card.
I'll swing into one of the Zenitra.
Okay.
Then I'll snipe the other Sinatra. And that's all my mana. Go ahead.
Got it. Okay. I'll play dragon then. Actually, I'll take that back. Yeah, I may play this guy actually. I'll play Jerry.
Oh boy, we got Jerry coming out.
The 1.
Jerry gonna go ahead and get Evo'd. Let's go. This is the first time I've seen Jerry come out in quite a long time.
The end turn, you'll take 8. And then you heal to 10, I'll be at 12. There you go.
Jerry, I only have 1 card. Pushing that 5 damage, 6/6 on the board, along with the 1/3.
I will call of Cocutus to kill Jerry.
Another card we hardly ever see play because it's so expensive. Call of Cocutus here, coming down to answer Jerry. Probably going to get Iserfil, possibly? Yep, we're getting Iserfil off of that card after the search we get from Call of Cocutus.
I'll play a white and then a servant, so that's all my mana. I have more than 3 idle. He evolved for free. On Evo, I'll do 2 damage to.
Another really powerful card for the Lashena stuff. If you like the Lashena package, you always need Servant Destruction. It's such a good card in this case. To be able to Evo for free here because they have 3 Ottery cards on the board. Evo side here gets to deal 2 damage to follower and its leader. And it's a 4/4 itself. Yeah, both these decks are very fringe decks you don't see too often anymore.
Yeah, I'll play the Dragon Nuke.
Surprised how close this game is to both players being at 10 life total. Honestly thought Lashena would kind of take control of the game, but here we are. PDK showing its power for like having such cheap followers that just have good efficiency.
You take 2, so you'll be at 8, and then I'll trade into the Apostle. Okay, I'll play this, and then I'll attach it to itself. So I'll be at 3/4. Your go.
Opting to go ahead and crack that amulet immediately to bump it up to a 3/4.
Your turn.
I'll heal 3, draw 1.
Right, that's 15.
Then I'll kill the dragon.
Oh man.
And I have
Gonna go ahead and pay 3 here. One of Purgation's Blade. Gonna go ahead and pop that follower. Now we play the pass back game until our opponent slowly loses the game. Lashena healing back up to 15 here. Dragon on 8 life, meaning only a few more turns till they kind of run out of everything. Oh, sorry, 6 life it seems.
I'll play Merlin.
Ooh, is this just game? We deal 3 with this. Evo, deal 3 again.
And I'll Evo
Okay.
Merlin to do 3 again, so it's 6 total.
Okay. Got it.
Good game.
Alright, you got me.
What a crazy game. Merlin along with Truth's Education just pushing 6 damage sometimes. It's all you really need. Truth Education is such a good card, such flexibility, like such a powerhouse with Merlin, and Merlin's just such a good card in general to be playing in Rune. Really interesting game with 2 decks that are just fringe decks you don't rarely see. Both rogue decks. Very interesting to see how they play up into each other.
Yeah.
That concludes round 2. I think round 3 should be starting soon, hopefully. Other game is still going on, but once it's finished up, we'll go ahead and hop into round 3, which will be our final round.
It was really good.
For those chilling here, let you know I'm working on a video for getting into Shadowverse in 2024. I hope that video will be done next week so I can have it up before the next weekend, which will be fun to do. I'm making a cool little thing, put it together, trying to learn some more editing tools. Adds a little bit more flair to these videos. I know I've been sick and haven't been able to actually get some of the videos I want out, which has been unfortunate. I also plan to do some more match videos soon. Locally, a friend of mine, Andrew, we've been testing a lot and playing a lot in this meta. He'll be going to the California Regional. We'll be recording and commentating on some matches that we play as well, especially when we get into set 8, since we'll be doing a lot of testing so I can help him, top 8 at, or probably top 16, because it should be top 16 in California, just to the amount of players that are going to be there. Since he does have a buy card that he does need to use, which would be interesting. Hopefully he does very well there. I'm hoping this weekend I just get my invite to World so I don't have to try too hard for the next few events I go to, because I have Chicago coming up afterwards. And Chicago and California are the 2 ones I'm 100% going to, because I believe I am going to be working in Chicago as a judge and then playing Shadowverse as well. If I end up not if I end up getting my invite in Vancouver, I'll just probably judge Shadowverse as why I'm in Chicago as well. Is work both days, I guess. And see how that goes. If they need people at least for the day one, if I end up not having to play in Chicago. But yeah, I'm hoping to work on some other video stuff soon. I'm going to reach out to a couple, like, there's a One Piece content creator in my city that's pretty chill. I've met him a couple times in Tom Shadowverse a while ago, and I'm hoping to do a collaboration video with him once I reach out to him soon. But been busy, plus the sickness. I was hoping to do a lot of the stuff that this past like week or so, but just been so sick from whatever weird flu I got when I went to visit my mother in California for Christmas. I just come back and just be dead for the next like 10 days straight or so. Just finally glad I'm basically over it. Thank you, Don. I'm feeling much better. Let us see. Is this game coming to a close? Hopefully it is. 18 to 24. I'll throw this up for you guys to check out why we're just chilling here.
I'll get an assembly droid. Fanfare for this. I'll get another assembly droid. Then spend 2 to Evo. I'll deal 10 damage to your Deus Ex. Then at the end of my turn, Baphomet will give them all +1/+1. 4, 5, 3, 3, and a 2, 3.
How much health does the highest one have?
Baphomet is 5/5.
Okay, so 5 is the highest. Alright, begin turn, draw. Let's see. 5. Wait. Okay. I'll spend 7 for Boost Kicker to deal 5 damage to the board. And then I'll end my turn.
Draw. Spend 7. I'll play Baphomet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get a Robo Goblin and a Prototype Warrior. Let's go to the bottom. Okay, fanfare for this. Gains +1/+1. spend 3. I'll play Mecha Wing Angel. Fanfare. I'll gain a repair mode. I will engage Mecha Wing Angel and ping your guy for 4 damage.
Ouch.
Actually, no, never mind. I won't do that. Leave it up there. And I will end my turn. They all gain +1, +1. 3, 4, 3, and 4.
Let's see. Yeah. Again. Draw. I'll spend another 7 on Boost Kicker. And my other Boost Kicker will hit you for 2. Then on the end step, recover 2 and pass.
Draw. And 2, I'll play Mechanized Life Form. Then I will spend 6 and I'll play Techno Lord. 1, 2, 3. I'll banish these 3. I will ping you for 3. And let's see. I will destroy your Path to Purgatory.
Cool.
Mechanized Life Form's ability procs, so I draw a card. And looks like I end my turn.
On the end step, I'll spend 1 and kill the robot little one with Angelic Knight. And then I'll play 2 Surefire bullets to deal 6 to Techno Lord. Again, draw. I'll attack for 4. Then I'll spend 8 for Marwin. Heal 3. Draw. End step, recover 2, and pass.
Okay, at the end of your turn, I'll spend 2. I'll use up 2 repair modes, heal for 2.
Okay.
Draw. Spend 3. I'll play Demon Caller. Spend 1 to Evo.
Alert, alert. Demon Caller.
Paper Shikigami. I give it +1 attack and rush.
Interesting.
Okay. Paper Shikigami will attack one of your boost kickers.
Ouch.
Okay. I will draw a card, discard a card, and then Demon Caller will attack your other one.
Alrighty.
Spend 2. I'll play Mechanized Life Form. Get a repair mode. I will then spend 1 to play Assembly Droid. I get to draw a card.
How many cards do you have left in your deck?
5.
Okay.
3. I'll play Displacer Bot. Look at the top 4. I'll bottom deck all of them. I will ward Displacer Bot and end my turn.
Again, draw. Play Israfil. Evo. Yeah. Deal 4. I'll attack and deal 5 to everything. Then I'll attack with Marwyn for 8. And I will end turn.
Draw. Spend 6. I'll play Techno Lord. 1, 2, and 3. I'll destroy your Israfil, and I'll ping you for 3 damage. And 4, I'll play Curse Crafter. Summon a Paper Shigami. And I end my turn.
Let's see. He has 6. No wards.
No.
I'll attack for 8. And I'll spend 1 and Angelic Snipe the Curse Crafter. Then I'll spend 3 for Apostle and 1 and an Evo point to evolve. And I'll banish Techno Lord. And then I'll spend 2 and I'll blacken Scripture the android. And then I will end turn and recover 2 play points.
Draw. Yeah, there's not really much I can do. I end my turn.
Alright, draw and attack with Morrowind.
Yep. BBs.
Yes.
All right, we're moving on to the final round finally. Let us see. All right, we're waiting for our opponents here to show up. Or more like one of them to show up here.
Pyro?
Yeah.
Got a 6.
6. I got a 3.
Your cam is not on.
Oh, whoops. Thought I just turned it. 1 second. Ah, man. Oh. This one. There we go. I can see you.
I'll
Right.
go first.
You're going first? Alright.
All right, this will be an interesting matchup. We got the hard control Haven here with the float, some of the float stuff. Just playing very hard control to answer all the big threats, along with the Lashena Rune. Both kind of playing controlling matchups here.
Okay.
It'll be interesting though, because usually things that burn out Haven or do burn damage for the most part can kind of outmaneuver Haven, just actually put a lot of pressure on them because they don't have really good ways to deal with this list. At least does not have any real ways to go ahead and remove elements off the board either, which is might end up being a liability for Haven here. We'll just have to see how it ends up being played. We got Sacred Plea coming in, being stacked to draw 2 immediately. Control matchup here, so we can kind of play somewhat slow. You know, the first few turns are going to be doing nothing. Just might as well invest those early play points into cards, because you will be have to answering stuff later on as well.
Sacred Plea.
Another Sacred Plea coming down, getting all the card draw out of the way.
In turn.
Luciana, go ahead.
He has 4 health?
2-4.
Okay. Drop.
Oh yes, a very quick game. Here we come.
Craving Splendor and destroy her. And in turn.
I'll play Luciana and I'll play a white. Go ahead.
Getting another Lashena on the board, 2 Lashenas back to back. We're probably honestly, we probably just end up after this. We just push up all the amulets and just say go. Deal 4, heal 4 every turn. Might just be enough to just win the game on its own.
2, 3 for Bellringer and the Evo. And then I'll spend 1 for Snipe.
Snipe coming here to close out that
And end turn.
last Lashena here.
Beginning of the turn, I heal 2.
Interesting opting for. Oh, I guess only 1 play point left, right? If we're moving the 5 there. Oh my god, another Lashena. A third Lashena has hit the towers, boys. A third Lashena. So maybe we're gonna just end up pushing 3 token of black stop, doing 6 damage a turn to kind of close out the game. What a wild opener. Like, I guess this is what you really want to see in the control mirror. Like, you just see all your Lashenas as soon as possible, and you just like, yep, I get a heal 2 every turn, deal 6 to you every turn, and have 1 slot left over to just keep playing whatever follower I need to, whether it be Merlin to go ahead and get the Truce Education and start cycling it, doing 6 damage, and then 3 every following Merlin Evo. I mean, you got to also have that 1 spot open because they're going to have to answer that 1 follower as Angelic's Agnes Tag coming in as well to be able to recycle the Truce Education just to kind of push it. I think the game's kind of just locked in for Lashena for the most part. Every time they get to do any damage or do anything, they just get to push as time goes on here. Already seeing Deus Ex Machina coming in. Yep, pushing up the 3 the 3 destruction of black, totems of black, or whatever they're called. So every turn you're just dealing 6, deal 6, deal 6. It's gonna get out of control pretty quickly. The one of here, Purgation's Blade answering the 4/6 Deus Ex Machina. I think this is just kind of game over. I don't know how you can really push for a game win here after like every turn taking 6. It's just so much. We're just probably gonna search for Marwyn out. Go ahead and try to get that big body on the board once you get up to 7 play points, I believe. We get that big body on the board. Kind of harder to interact with since it does have ward aura. So it being an 8/8 with the aura is going to be annoying for Rune to deal with. But I think like the turn setups for just being able to pass turn, deal 6, pass turn, deal 6 is going to be quicker than Aegis can really do anything. Or not Aegis. Marwyn can really close the game out. Surefire Bullet here, getting rid of that last slot. And like I said, at the end of the day, we still get access to 1 board slot, which is really good because things like Merlin will just be able to push extra damage. You still have access also to Meteor Storm, Crimson Meteor Storm, which will be able to help clear out Marwyn along with pushing more face damage as well. You do get that +2, the heal 2 every turn to as Lashena, so it's going to be a really hard game to come back, honestly. Already pushing him down to 13.
Have you at 13? No mana left, right?
Nope.
I'll play Merlin.
Yep, like I said, we got Merlin coming in here. We're going to go ahead and search. I assume it's going to be Truce Education. We get a kind of push damage here, and then Evo. And recycle it again to do 6 damage total, hopefully. And then the following turn, if they don't get rid of Merlin, it'll be a at least swing in for 4, and then take 6 again. 10 damage there. You're just threatening a lot here. All right.
Play Marwyn. Evolve.
They're gonna have to ward here if they're planning to have another turn.
Oh, ward and pass.
You take 6. I heal 2. You go to 4. Merlin will crash into your guy.
Okay.
I'll play Servant of Destruction. I'll evolve for free. You have an aura, so I don't think it does anything. Let me check.
Servant Destruction coming in here.
Okay, so that's nothing. But it's a 4/4. I'll crush it.
Evoing for free. Running it in as a 4/4 to close, remove Marwyn here.
Wait, how did you play him if you had Merlin on the field?
Merlin crash into your guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I do 8 total to it. And you're at 4. I'm at 28. Go ahead.
What an insanely quick game this is going to be, because there's no real way for them to heal again. They got Marwyn again is like it, but if they have Merlin Evo, that closes out the game. If they have Agnes Tachyon Evo, closes out the game as well this next turn, because you're going to set them to 1.
I'll ward and discard that.
Oh, Crimson Meteor Storm also closes the game out. They topped at Crimson Meteor Storm. I think you just play that and you win the game.
I heal 2, go to 30, and I'll just do 3 to you for game.
Cool.
What an insanely quick game. Dude, this isn't like you. Why was this game so quick? Holy crap. That was insane. Seeing 3 Lashenas was insane.
Yeah, it's the easiest matchup on the planet. I just burned them.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Didn't really think so, but okay.
What a wild game. Well, that was the last game of the night. What a game to end it on. That was so quick and so disgusting.
Didn't have it.
Yeah. Well, this will probably be it. I think there might be a video coming out in a day or two, or like right before I leave to Vancouver. And then I will be in Vancouver this weekend for BCS. So if you see me around, say hi. And I barely ever go to Vancouver, so it'll be my first time for that BCS ever. I'm looking to have a lot of fun and find like cool places to eat around there. Other than that, see you guys, later in the other videos and stuff. Thanks for joining me.